I like that.
Just us. That's crazy. I can still hear myself talking.
What do you mean?
I could just hear us talking through the.
What do you mean? Like that's what they're for? What do you mean I can see myself?
But they're not connected to the mics.
Huh?
They're not connected to the mics.
But you're on this mic.
What?
This is connected to this.
Ah. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, it's a valid mistake, honestly.
We spent a lot of time. Sponsored by Corvour.
Yeah, is that your favorite flavor?
Chocolate is the best flavor. Let me tell you why.
One. It's actually pretty good.
Why don't you like the chocolate one? Why don't you like the chocolate one?
I don't not like the chocolates.
Chocolate's better.
Remember last night when I put my ice cream in the fridge and it melted?
Yeah, talk about being stoned.
So here we are. Jazz is visiting me in Arizona. Well, no, I guess we live in Arizona. We're visiting me in Tucson for a week. So we're just hanging out. We've been talking about doing another podcast because last time I didn't even post the full one. We're still working through this podcast thing. There's a lot of technical difficulties that kind of come about as you're learning. So hopefully this one is the best one that we've done so far.
Yeah, this is the best part, is looking back and being like, what were we doing?
But even like setting up today, I was like, how do I know how to do any of this? Like, why do I have this?
She goes, Jasmine, all your friends are nerds. I'm like, you're also missing. I am a massive nerd. I'm talking about chess and Rubik's Cubes and
chess.
Marble all the time.
So after being in Tucson for the past few days, what's your consensus of Tucson? We're gonna do something cool tonight, but
it's a small city. Like I said, it's Arizona, but not Arizona. If that makes sense. I guess like being in Scottsdale, everything is in like a 5-mile radius.
Yeah.
So I can get things faster. And the same thing here, like going to the gym is 15 minutes away.
Yeah, like Arizona. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like how far my gym is from my house or my old place. But like it was a straight shot. Like I was in no traffic. It took me exactly 15 minutes without
to get to the gym.
Like and like Tennessee, it's like 15 minutes is an hour. Like it just
and just the what that 15 minutes like kind of consists of is like sitting there being pissed that you're like stuck in traffic. Or, like,
and this was just like literally stoplights and I'm just cruising.
Yeah, for sure.
Everything's flat. No, it's nice. Everyone's smiling and just happy and chipper.
Do you think?
I feel like I think Phoenix is just a little more busy because it's a bigger city. So that I can't really say that because like I feel like everyone that I've encountered in Phoenix, they're all nice.
I think just in general in Arizona, people are nice because it's
just
bright and
sunny
all the time.
Yeah. How did we live in Tennessee? It's gloomy.
Yeah. Honestly, I noticed a huge difference. Like even today, it was gloomy this morning when I could like not get out of bed. I was like, dude, I do not want to go coach class right now. So many people missed my class this morning. Like 2 people. I was like, I wouldn't have gone.
Yeah, you woke me up and I forgot to charge my phone again. So of course I was snoozing. I woke up and it was 7. I was like, I grabbed my laptop just to open up to see the clock.
Dude, you're like one of the only people that I know that this is like why you and I are like the same person in some ways. I like never charge my phone and it'll always die and everybody gives me shit for it. It's like it's like so irresponsible, but I just like.
My phone's on red now.
Like I'm gonna live life on the edge like that all the time. Like if I drove a Tesla, like there's no way that because you have to open your car and do everything on your phone.
I could do that. So here's the thing. My phone is normally never not charged. Like
never.
You've caught me on a time where I just keep forgetting to charge my phone. I guess I'm always plugging the charger, or just it's when I was at my own place. I have 5 different chargers, in different walls. So it's phone, laptop, AirPods, Whoop stuff. But it's all good.
Whoop. You like the Whoop?
I actually love this. I had the Apple Watch before, and I never even looked at the Apple Watch for the clock. It was just like to do my workouts. With the Whoop, granted, I have to use the app, but it clocks so much data in terms of I can go in and look and break down. And
you wear it 24/7?
Yeah, you don't have to take it off.
Oh, sure.
And if you want to charge it, you just slide the charger on top, and that's it. And then it's just a little battery you put on top. Shower proof. You don't ever have to take it off. My tan is ridiculous because you don't take it off.
That's crazy.
And then it goes super detail of your sleep, your REM sleep, like your stress levels when you're on cycles. It's very similar to, I was between this and Oura Ring.
Your heart rate and stuff.
Yeah, and like just going through different workouts. So I love it, and it gives me a monthly breakdown as well. When I want to go look at, it's like, like last night it recommended me to go to sleep at like 11:30 because I've been sleeping so well and not waking up in my sleep
Yeah.
like I normally do. It'd be like, go sleep at 9 p.m. I'm like, that's not happening, but okay.
You just can't do it.
No, I mean, I normally don't. Again, which is weird. I never fall asleep before 10, and I have fallen asleep almost exactly at 10 every day since I've been here.
Yeah, it's just because
It's crazy.
It's comfy in here. That's it.
I'm just knocked the fuck out.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's interesting.
Anyways,
Yeah, but Tucson's definitely, it's chill. It's a cool town for sure.
I mean, you love it here.
Yeah, I like it. It's like a whole new experience living here. I would have never expected to live here again. I wanted to move to Arizona again, like move home. So that was kind of the plan, but it's just like the same. I feel like in Phoenix, it's so like big and spread. You know, like you're basically to stay within the range of like the streets around your house, right? Like even here, it's like my mom lives on the northwest side of town. I grew up over there. Like I never go up there.
Are you?
Unless I like need to go to.
Are you good at like the street and like street signs? Like you're like, hey, I live on 33rd and 4th.
Yeah,
You
I don't know why though.
Because it's on a grid system.
What?
Arizona is built like on a grid system.
Oh, is that why I'm good at it?
Maybe not why you're good at it. I'm retarded at it because Michaela's been telling me Arizona's the road. Sorry, the roads. I'm autistic. The roads are built on a grid system.
Oh.
It's like streets and then whatever avenues, and I still, till this day, can get to. Just now, I got to around Scottsdale to my house, and I can just now get to her parents' house without looking at the street signs. But I've been here for 3 years, and I still need to map everything.
Yeah, well, in Phoenix, I definitely have to.
I'm
like
an
here,
idiot.
Here in Tucson, it's like I can literally get around anywhere without. I never use my GPS. I try not to because it's like I know where I'm going. But the reason that I know that is because like I was an illegal immigrant, so like I literally had no like identification. It's not funny. I had like no identification, and like my mom would kind of like quiz me on that. I guess like I knew like.
So instead your ABCs,
my address,
instead your ABCs, you're getting quizzed on the street signs.
Like just what streets, or like just kind of having awareness of where I was. So I moved here when I was 5, so like being in a whole different country, and I also didn't really speak English at the time. So like, you know, it's like that's honestly why. And then I think it's just one of those things where like, oh, and then I also did door to door, so I moved to Virginia every summer, and like we'd be in different towns like every day. So like just like getting around in a new city or like following directions and stuff, I feel like I've kind of inevitably had to like figure it the fuck out, you know, because
you're a lucky one. At a festival, I can figure everything out. You put me in like in a new country, like but like you put me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty
Nashville
good.
Nashville was really confusing to me. For
Nashville wasn't confusing though. That was
like,
the thing. I know the back roads.
Yeah, exactly. So like for me and like really for anybody who moves there, like the way that the highway is built, it's like a circle around the city, right? It's like a little circle, and then it's like that was so hard for me to wrap my head around when I first
on 24.
Like, huh?
Going on 24, not
just like just kind of being like, hey, weren't we just here? And it's like, yeah, because you just went in a fucking circle, stupid ass. Like, you know, it's like I didn't realize that until I like started to like pull up a map and go, oh yeah, we are fucking going in a circle. When you're driving, it's like, wait, what? Because it's like just kind of takes you around.
Yeah, well, we always knew, like, because I went to high school in Murfreesboro, so I knew the back roads can like bypass traffic on 24 to go to Franklin and go into Nashville. And even within Nashville, I lived in kind of all the parts of Nashville throughout my time there, growing up there, and then as an adult.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, there's things have fucking changed like every single.
Oh, it's insane. I don't even recognize.
Yeah.
I grew up basically at Centennial Park, and that entire area, like that area, has always been bougie.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's crazy.
I mean, there's a lot of places that are like super. I mean, everything's gonna turn into super bougie. Do you feel like? Obviously, we talked about Nashville before because that's kind of how we connected and stuff. We both love it, but like, and obviously for you, it's like you grew up there. Do you think that you would want to live there again?
Absolutely.
Like, realistic? Like, no.
No, you could pay me to move back there. You could pay me $1 million.
Really?
And be like, Jasmine, I'll pay you $1 million, and I would tell you no. I have more anxiety when I'm in that city than any place else.
For sure. Yeah.
And I'll tell you why. I love my friends. They know this. I have told them this. I was there recently. What I mean, it was chaos. It was damn near chaotic.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's because I know so many crowds going there, but you just get so, it's a big city, and that sense of a big city, like rushing and like Need to know everybody, need to be in the scene, need to do this, and what's the hot spot next, and this, that. Don't get me wrong, my friends are very well connected, so am I. However, I think like I felt
like that part of it's like
just that part of it was constant. There was never no relaxing, and then everyone was just.
There's just like always a reason to do something.
Well, it's not even that. It also lost its charm. Like I feel like the people back in the day, like even when well connected, it's like with intention, and now it's more like, hey, like posting on put me on TikTok, and I'm like, I could care less about that.
Yeah.
And so
it definitely has changed a lot. Like after COVID, especially, a lot of people from California started to move there and stuff. But
I mean, I love my friends. I love seeing them.
I think everyone's gonna grow out of it though, unless they're in music.
Yeah, unless they're in music, then great. But
like, the only people I see there being long term, like I see this with Houston and with Nashville. Like now that I moved away, it's like I see people like announcing that they're gonna move away, and I'm like, oh, like they just like everyone's gonna eventually get to that point, because I feel like it's just like I feel like Nashville is like part of this stage of your life, and it also has to match with the timing of the city. We were talking about this.
Oh, do you think? Oh, I have a question.
Like we're there at like prime, like fucking dope.
Oh yeah, like Tin Roof was like the spot.
Oh my god, like that's like I romanticize stuff like that. Like I romanticize being at Alphaland the first couple of years that it was open, because now people don't really. Like so many people were excited and like hungry to move to Houston because like.
And now everybody's online like influencer.
Yeah, but they also like a lot of us like, even if we weren't, not all of us were coaches. Like a lot of people that I met had moved there for being a photographer, videographer, marketing, anything, and like people were just kind of like moving there to be around other like-minded people. Mm-hmm. When I like see those people now, like kind of looking back, it's like we're kind of at a similar stage in our life where we had already done a lot of stuff, but we like wanted to go and get challenged, and everybody had this energy, and that's how Nashville was when I first moved there. And I think in general in the music industry, it's gonna always probably be like that. Like if you want to make it in country music specifically, but I think in music at all right now, like Nashville, we want to be in Nashville. So like, I feel like it's always gonna have that, where people move there. Yeah. So it's like that energy of people like being in this kind of like entrepreneur, like creative, like mid to late 20s. Like I just feel like that's what that city's for, or what it's been for. But for now it's like I could not.
I'm curious. I
didn't realize how fast everything was going until now.
I'm curious. Well, I mean, you live in Phoenix, but like, do you think Arizona or Scottsdale is like a stopping stone for everyone like Nashville is?
For sure, yeah. I think Scottsdale. I don't think Arizona, and I don't think Phoenix specifically, because I think Phoenix, a lot of parts of Phoenix, like Gilbert, Mesa, like all those places are like more like suburbs, like type of neighborhoods and stuff. Like it's very like literally like if you don't know that you're in Tucson, there's gonna be so many parts of Tucson that look just like Phoenix. Right? Yeah, it's like same business,
the same color,
the same vibe, same color. The house, everything looks the same, right? So like, I don't think, and I did live in Phoenix for a year when I was younger, but it just depends on like what you're trying to do, right? Like the party scene, and then who you're trying to be. So like, for example, like could I go to Scottsdale and have way more exposure to people that are better than me at videography, content creation, all this stuff, to be like challenged by people? Yes, absolutely. Is there probably more of a community for that? Yes, absolutely. But in Tucson, none of that really exists yet, and I think I like to be a leader in my communities.
Kind of build it out.
So like me being here is like kind of setting a standard in a way, and kind of giving back to this community, and kind of like putting pressure on people. Yeah. So I feel like that part of it, like it's like I kind of like having my hometown community, and and I also like my career as a fitness coach began here, and like I have
full circle
thousands of people probably that at some point trailing me, and then they followed me on Instagram all these years. Like that lady we ran into at the Hill the other day, like that happens to me like everywhere I go. So like it's cool because I really always love that, you know what I mean? I built that, so it's still it's cool that it's still there, and like I can
see it, tap back into it. So that's fun.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you.
It's cool, but and it's like I just feel like at some point, like I think for everybody, most people, family is, and like just not just family, but like the people that like you, like your chosen family, like your childhood best friends or your favorite cousin, or like you know what I'm saying, like those people that, or mentors that you've had or whatever. I feel like, so what I was saying is like for a while I feel like a calling that has, because I've lost a lot of my, I guess, blood family, or just like my childhood family, to things like addiction and mental health disorders and stuff like that, suicide. So there's these like my deepest connections to the people in my family has really shifted. My family shifted a lot during my life. And so because of that, it's left me feeling really lonely at times. So I feel like for years I've been looking for like my soul family, and that's been something that's been kind of calling me. And I would like get into these communities of people, and it would feel like, dude, we're fucking had this amazing weekend together, and we're fucking tied in. This is my soul family. I found them. And then there would be like, it was just kind of surface level stuff, right? And so for a while, I feel like I kept trying to find those connections of like, I didn't really know what I was looking for, but it just kind of kept coming to me in meditations and stuff. And I think also at the times, my philosophy of like training and health and all the stuff that I'm into was changing a lot too. So I kind of felt misunderstood when I would have conversations with the people I typically had a lot in common with and stuff.
Yeah.
And so anyway, in Tucson, it's been this like weird, it's been this like weird magical thing where the people that I've connected to here, like the chiropractors I always talk about, and just like people like that have like made me feel like I found a different community that I was really looking for here, and that's something that kind of like just randomly happened.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's kept me here as well. And it's cool because everybody that I talk to that is like that I've met kind of, especially if there's like that spiritual tie, like if they're into the spiritual stuff and like all the energy stuff or whatever, where they like are like, yeah, I just randomly like got called to look at Tucson. This. Like just to kind of like, oh, what's going on in Tucson, you know?
No, that's crazy. I mean, I think it's again, we've talked about this briefly throughout the week. It's more so the conversation we've been having and open to everything and just see what happens. And there's a quote way back in kind of high school. I thought was like open to everything, attached to nothing. I think 3 times I found out that had a little bit more of like anxious attachment styles just because of the trauma with family and things happen. And as you become aware to it, you work on those things. But in general, where I think you're very similar, you kind of find like your family and your friends, and as you're building the bonds within your family too, like certain people are coming in your lives with, hey, how can I help you with this in this aspect, or let's do fitness together, or let's shoot a podcast or media or whatever it is. So I think maybe I was talking to you about this or something recently, and I was more so saying like, oh, we're going to do this, or I'm going to do this, and then realizing I've already done it, which is kind of crazy to think about. So for example, when I decided to move, I was going to move. I had already said I was going to move and I didn't resign my lease without knowing where the heck I was going to go. Yeah. I didn't decide that till 3 months later. And I remember I called my best friend, was like, I'm going to go to Austin, Scottsdale, Miami. Like, where am I going? And she was like, come to Scottsdale. I'm like, okay, for sure. Then it was like, oh, I'm going to go to Yacht Week. I was like, no, I already booked Yacht Week and was prepaying it by the time before I even went. Yeah. So just, I think saying like, oh, I'm already doing that is something powerful that I think we forget, because I forgot.
Oh, for sure.
Like, oh, I'm gonna go travel next summer.
Yeah.
I'm doing that now. Like, what do you mean? It's crazy.
Like, dude, so many times I'll be training somebody and they'll like literally be actively like in the middle of a set and like be like doing whatever, bicep curl, whatever, looking at me and being like, oh my God, I just gotta get consistent. I just gotta like get my shit together. Da, da, da. And I'm like, you're literally working out right now. Like just right fucking now. But it reminds me of before we started this podcast, I was thinking about stuff to talk about. And something that I wrote on like one of my notes today from something I was reading was that like, or just a thought that I had was gratitude is everything. And whenever we aren't like, for example, like I have all this fucking camera gear in the closet. I have everything you could possibly need for a successful online content creation, YouTube channel. I have like high quality stuff. And it sits there 99% of the time, right? And so before I go try to like, I just bought a drone, and it's like, yeah, I'm excited to have the drone, but I'm like, dude, like that's just another skill that I need to learn, and it's like I need to learn whatever the fuck's in my closet already, because like, it's just it's on the.
Let's have more and more.
Well, yeah, it's a scarcity mindset is like at the foundation of that, right? It's like you need more to be happy, right? And there's no like, again, there's no gratitude and acknowledgement of what you already have. And because of that, like
with having this, like we got shoes, and it's so simple as that. A friend of mine, I was having a rough week, and we were on this walk. It's 2 a.m. He was like, let's go sit on this bench. We're sitting on this bench at Chaparral Park, and I'm just bitching. left and right, just like, oh my God, like this, and not really playing victim, but just like confused and lost and whatever. He goes, Jasmine, you have a great life. He's like, you got shoes. I said, what? Shoes. I paused. I was like, whatever. And I was like, he's like, Jasmine, you literally have shoes on your feet.
Yeah.
We're sitting in fresh air outside at 2 a.m. Sure. Who gets to do that? And I think with this, it's like, yeah, we have the opportunity to buy this. You have the opportunity to buy a drone and like being grateful for that.
Yeah, like
and the things we can use such a huge deal. I would have never thought.
Yeah.
You would have thought a kid at 5 years were trying to learn the street signs in English and buying a drone 20 years later. Like, who would have thought that?
Dude, I didn't fucking speak English like that.
Neither did I. I didn't speak English either. Yeah. That was my 4th language.
And like, to me, like literally doing exactly this, talking on a microphone in English confidently to a camera was like a vision that I had as a little kid. Where I was telling you that like I would love to be a director of a movie someday, of like about my life, because I've just, my identity has changed so many fucking times that like even though I have reason to like again remind myself, like there was a time where like I remember when I first moved to the US, there was this movie on Disney Channel that I watched, and they went shopping. What is it called? It's like 2 little girls. I think Brenda Song was one of them. Maybe they're like going shopping in New York City.
In the suburbs? No.
I don't know, but they went shopping, right? And so like, one of them was rich or something, I think, and then she was like, "This is how the other half lives."
Hannah Montana? No, is Sweet Life of Zack and Cody?
Okay, you're like completely anyway. So I remember watching this and like literally genuinely being like, why are there shopping bags made out of paper? Like, what do you mean? Like, they went to go buy stuff because like everything that like I've gotten from like was like from yard sales or from like hand-me-downs or whatever, or from like Walmart or from like places like that where you get a plastic bag. And so I remember being like, Mom, why are they carrying those fucking, like, this is so unrealistic. They're
like these bougie bags. What is that?
Yeah, like, what the fuck is that? And so it's just like things like that I think that I forget, even though I have those actual memories of stuff that happened in my life, right? Where there's been so many times where, even as an adult, where like I just feel like I'm not gonna make it through. You know what I mean? Mentally, emotionally, where I'm just like, holy fuck, dude. So to even just get up and like, I think something that I value a lot right now at this point, like this year in my life, last year in my life was really spirally emotionally. Like this year, I value having having control over my emotions, because last year they got like really overwhelming, and I'd never experienced something like at that level. A lot of different stuff was happening, and I think I was going through like a lot of healing. But like I'd get like into these like rabbit holes where if I start crying, I'd just be like fucking just like so sad, dude. And like it'd be like, okay, this is not normal. And so this year I feel like I've worked through so much stuff to where I'm like, dude, if I fucking feel good today, like it's a good day, you know?
I mean, there's always like the saying,
because sometimes you can have it all and like.
Well, it's like there's never a bad day, you just had bad moments. Like the whole day wasn't bad. You woke up. That's a good thing. For sure. Everything else could have gone fucking sideways. Yeah. But you woke up. That's a good day. Right. And so I completely get what you're saying. However, I double down on what you said about when you get in those moods, it's like something is wrong. And I used to sit there. I used to say the same thing. My friends would tell me like I would be helling about this is wrong. This is not normal. I don't like crying when like reality, like, we don't see each other like ourselves crying because we've always had to have our stuff put together. Growing up and the way it's like you did,
that's like fucking.
You kind of you couldn't show your emotion. You kind of had to figure it out, and like you had to be the strong one. So like at any sign of like, right, we tend to put crying with like,
it's like we've been doing
weakness,
this, like,
and it's not
like this is how it felt for me. I felt like I was doing this like for my entire life. I was just like,
you're survivor mode,
like just kind of like sucking it in, like keep it together, right? Or like also like externally look like nothing is wrong, externally look nonchalant,
have it together,
but internally like, you know, like I felt like I was kind of like prideful of that as a kid. Again, I was like I came into the country legally. I'm a citizen now. I've gone through a lot of different processes, but anyway, I wasn't a bad person. It was just like how things were, I guess. But there was many situations where I was in a situation where like maybe we were getting questioned at the border or something. So I like came into the country like me illegal like multiple times. To where I had to like fucking lie and put on a straight face, and so those things really affected me, and I never really notice that stuff until now. But also me suppressing my sexuality was a huge thing that I think was like a huge thing that really, once I came out, it was like my whole fucking life changed.
Yeah.
Because that was like the first big thing that was like just making me feel like I was gonna fucking explode.
Yeah.
But it's cool because like once you get through a lot of that, like you're saying, like yeah, it's just bottled up. Some people, I think, whenever this starts to affect you, if you're someone who can kind of resonate with this, of like you've been kind of like having to just keep it together and bottom things up, it's gonna come out in those ways, whether you like it or not. Like you're gonna be, for me, it was like I'd be at work and like randomly somebody like hold me accountable for something, and I start fucking crying, and I fucking just like was like, what the fuck? Like why am I crying?
I was having panic attacks. I was having panic attacks, and then you
just feel so like
weak, and then I was projecting stuff on like the people closest to me and like pushing them away. Like I already get weird about like having close friends because I'm scared they're gonna leave because I have abandonment issues from my parents. But as I'm working through that too, like I've noticed like, oh, like maybe this is what turns in. And last year, probably since last September to realistically a couple weeks ago, I would say I've had a very similar, like a lot of healing, just more inward than even before when I was getting coached by a life coach. I was like, what is going on? I was crying all the time. I was so upset. I was trying to make this facade of like every day is a great day. And like my little videos, I feel like a lot of people love the videos of me going on my walk or doing whatever the morning that wakes them up. To be honest, that would be like my favorite part of the day just for me, because I'm like, oh, I'm getting up, I'm going to the gym, I'm doing this. And that was for me, not for anybody else, because I felt like at the time, everything else in my life was going to shit.
Yeah.
Work was bad. Family was bad. My friends, I was like kind of lost in that space, and I'm a good friend. I was even worse. So there was so much going on. And so I would say like now coming on the tail end of it, similar to you, like breathing, I'm being more selfish, which I'm actually able to be more selfless by doing that and just like focusing and healing and letting shit go.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That's crazy, man. I just feel like it's not selfish at all, you know?
Well, that's the irony of it. It was like like you being more selfish. Like the reason why and I'll give a little insight why I hate that word or even that phrase for a long time, because my mom called me selfish constantly.
Oh, really?
Over she was projecting. Again, we won't get diving into that, but always called me that. So I believed growing up, you believe, oh, my mom thinks I'm selfish. Like it's so subconscious. Like my mom kept calling me selfish. So I'm thinking that. So I did all my actions I would do, which, how do I not be selfish? Let me go do this for someone. Let me go do that. Let me go do this. And so I was trying to be so selfless because I was told I was selfish when I wasn't. My mom was just projecting her shit on me. And like I literally wouldn't be doing anything wrong. She's like, you're so selfish. I'm like, what? I didn't cook the rice? What do you mean? And so now as an adult, that thought pattern is still ingrained, even though you don't think about it.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, it's kind of weird. Like, oh, like I'm doing this for me. I'm not considering. It's like, no, I'm not necessarily not considering you for it. Come. Love the best, but like I'm also not going to spend all my time worrying about.
No, you can't.
All this,
like literally,
for everybody else.
Main responsibility is to take it. Like you are your own responsibility. That's it.
Yeah,
you know.
I just thought I was always needing to like be this person, for everyone else, and it. Again, I like started to sit there. I'm like, oh, where did that come from? That came from. You look back to childhood trauma. It's always back from family stuff.
For sure. Well, you talking about it right now, like I was reading this thing about content creation, this like training that I was doing earlier, and it was talking about how if we get on our story, like it's like for coaches, right? So like if I get on my story from a place of like pity, like kind of complaining about stuff, it's different for me to get on there from a place of like pity versus like doing it in a productive way where I can go, hey, like this is what happened to me, this is how I was feeling, and this is what I did about it, and this is how I fixed it. So you right now, like that's what you're at a point now where you can talk about it, and it's actually something that's productive. I think that's what you like. I think you struggle. I think you and me both. Let me fix this one. All right. I think you and me both like struggle with like we all like what did you say recently of like sometimes like you want to like, you know, vent about your life or talk about your life, but you feel like it's like never the right time to like take up the space with your friends or something. I feel like
you don't want to be a burden.
Huh?
Yeah, you don't want to be a burden.
Yeah, you don't want to be a burden. Yeah, yeah. So like I think that I struggle with that too. I don't
It's
want to
like,
be a
why?
burden.
Like, why spend the time I
like
have
that?
to talk about that? Like, I don't want to talk about negative
Yeah.
shit. Like, let's talk
Yeah,
about positive stuff.
Yeah, and I
Reality.
completely agree. And it's like it's people are like, no, you have to vent, whatever. I feel like there's people like going to a professional or someone I trust to like have that space. But then taking it into every relationship, I just don't feel it. Or especially whenever it comes to social media and me like posting about what's going on. Sometimes like I feel like there's been a need for me to be vocal about it, about whatever's going on in my life, because I show up so consistently. So it's like I have to be like, hey guys, like going through it, like whatever. But all that does is draw this like negative attention towards me, and I hate it. And I also feel like it, like even when I posted about my dog dying, like I just was like, fuck, I don't want to ruin everybody's day. It's like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
that's a little too much, you know.
Well, I wouldn't agree with that. I think people. So what I found is in a world that we're so connected, no one is actually connected because no one talks about. Everyone puts on a fake of like, oh, my life is perfect.
Yeah.
It's like there's no way.
Yeah.
You had a burnt toast. Something happened. Like,
yeah.
you know, and that's fine. Maybe you had a great day. If you did, let me know. But my thing is like, I think for us on social media, make it more relatable because sometimes like I won't speak about things and just kind of one-on-one conversations and have people like, oh my God, like.
Yeah.
I'm going through the same thing. I wish I had someone to talk to about it. And I'm like, oh, like, hey, even on my video, everyone's like, you're so chipper. You know this. Yeah. My roommates knew this. I am not chipper. I have RBF on the first 10 minutes I wake up.
I feel like it's funny because like I think I've told you that before, but like because I met you so many times like not sober, the first few times I met you, like whenever I was around you, like and we weren't drinking, I was like,
something wrong.
Are you mad?
Yeah.
Like
you did that like, in Houston.
Huh?
In Houston before we went to Europe.
I was like, Jazz, are you okay? Like you're so quiet right now. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah,
I felt like that a couple times while you've been here. I've been like, are you good? Like, are you mad at me?
Yeah, no, I remember this. We were in Houston.
But I'm like that. I have like just kind of like I could just be like completely.
I'm just so chill because I feel like a lot of people just expect me like I'm just always here. And like I can be there, but I also just sit back and like I review.
I think it's more realistic for you to have those.
Yeah, and I kind of like I observe a lot actually more than most people think. But I remember the thing you're talking about. So backstory, I was flying in because me and Carly were going to Yacht Week, and it was like a Wednesday, Tuesday, and it was my birthday weekend, and I wasn't drinking. I was like Carly, I don't want to drink, and she had like 1 or 2 drinks. You came and met us up. It was like me, you, and Shelby, Carly, and Reese. And you were like, "Are you good?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just watching everyone else be a crackhead." And all of a sudden, Shelby goes, "I'm gonna get shots," and the bartender goes, "Yes, $20." I said, "Hold on, $20 for 4 Casamigo shots?" And she goes, "Yeah, the $5." I said,
$5.
Hold on, and then the rest was history. I think I got shit faced, and then you literally go, "Oh, there she is," and I was like, "Yeah, because I'm hammered."
Later, you're like literally, I'm like, "Oh, there," like she's like acting normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely can be like that. I think people are like, do you feel like, I feel like I'm pretty serious. It depends on the day, but I feel like I'm pretty serious in class, or I feel like I'm pretty serious when I'm working.
Yeah. I mean, I have a very...
But I can be real goofy, that's for sure.
I would say work, I'm dialed in at work at always times. Sometimes I'm half asleep because not always, but sometimes my meetings are at like 5:30, 6 a.m. and I'm asleep on my meetings. If you're watching, please don't tell my boss. But
damn,
I think my personal life, I am more the sensible one. Like I'm the responsible, reckless person. I'm always down to do it, but I'm also like, okay, well, like let's think about this thoroughly first. However, I have those spurts and you're like, oh, let's just book the flight and find out. Like, I don't know. I kind of go back and forth, but of my group, and my groups are my friend groups and all my friend groups, they're very big players. I feel like they're very alpha, male and female, loud, energetic, kind of in their own ways.
Yeah,
and so
for sure.
You kind of learn how to work with. And then I think from going to school and being a part of such a great working team that I had in college, you all can't lead at once. So you kind of have to like, hey, you're better at that. You go ahead and lead. I can do it, but you're better at that than me. Or my friend would tell me, hey, you need to work on that. You're good at it, but you should work on it. I'm already good at it. Why don't you take the lead? So I think learning how to balance that out in my life and my personal life, being serious or taking the back seat or whatever it is.
It's like compartmentalizing. What do you feel like? Okay, so like, let's say you have your 3 main code switches that you go through on a daily basis or on a weekly basis. Whenever you code switch, the code switch is whenever I like go from talking to you like this, and then my mom calls me and I'm like, bueno, ¿qué onda? In Spanish, you know?
Oh, like you're talking about your Harvard voice and your ghetto voice.
Pretty much, yeah. I feel like mine are really like.
Like you're talking about like when I go through them during the day.
Like, what do you think your 3 personalities are? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you go from I go from where did I go from?
I feel like I have my Harvard voice on, which is at work.
Damn.
Like I'm very proper. Like, hey guys, look, I mean, I can be shit-faced and jump on a meeting and you never know. Done it. Took an interview with it, doing that actually. Got the job. But with that said, I think like my very proper voice, right, was talk eloquently, be very nice and kind.
That's crazy.
And then you have my other voice, which my voice is already raspy, so I just talk like this. I'm very laid back. I'm super sarcastic, cutting out jokes, saying stuff I probably shouldn't be saying. And then, as far as my third one, and I'm gonna say this, it's Cambodians are two things. I feel like Cambodia, you're either bougie or you're ghetto, and I somehow feel like I'm in the mix of both.
Yeah.
Every Khmer person I've met just has like. You just kind of grew up in the hood because we were poor. We just grew up in the projects. Yeah. I'm a product of the projects, which is fine.
You're just a brown kid, pretty much.
Yeah, but like when I go back in Dallas and hanging out with my cousins, I just come back with a different like
ghetto?
Yeah.
Really?
But I kind of love it.
Yeah.
Because I missed it. But yeah, I feel like that. But that only comes out when I'm with them and I'm speaking Cambodian. You kind of have to have like a little gangster vibe to it, I guess, when you speak Khmer. But I don't really speak much.
You don't have like an accent, bro. Your English is your second language.
Oh, English was like my fourth language because I grew up speaking Cambodian first, and I grew up with my grandma. So my grandma spoke Cambodian, Thai, Laos, and Thai, and she barely knew English. And so I was the one speaking English, and I used to hustle her friends for money because I was so cute to do the prayers. So give me like $1 here or there, playing cards with them. That's why I learned all the other languages, but. Yeah, my first English words were big black bird. It's crazy to think about.
Big black bird?
Big black bird.
Were you like reading a children's book?
No, I was in the car and
look at that bird.
A black bird literally went by and I was like, oh, big black bird, that's what my mom said. But yeah, it's like it's different. I don't think I have an accent because I grew up around so many different people. Are you having trouble?
Yeah, it just keeps falling off. Okay, let's see. Which on 10? Motherfucker, though. Yeah. What was I gonna say? That's crazy. Well, I was telling you and Yanni the other day that everybody says, it's always strangers that say I have an accent. And I'm like, okay, what's the accent? And they're like, I'm like, is it Mexican? They're like, no. I don't know what it is. And I'm like, okay, I don't fucking know.
Well, you don't have a Tennessee accent.
I don't think so.
Y'all.
I'll say y'all and stuff like that, but...
I don't think that's Southern either. I think that's just the Southeast.
I just think that it's probably a mix of everything. But I definitely don't think I sound Mexican at all. People usually don't think I speak Spanish. I think if you know, you know, but...
Say something Spanish. Do you have an accent when you speak Spanish?
¿Qué quieres que te diga? No, I'm like, speaking fucking normal.
Yeah, I don't think... I'm like... No.
You haven't heard me speak Spanish?
Yeah, I heard you talking to your mom today in Spanish.
Do I have an accent?
But I feel like
do I speak like a white person in Spanish then?
Well, it's like some people have it like they have an accent when they speak Spanish, just like when they go like my best friend will go back to the Bahamas and she somehow out of nowhere gets a Bahamian accent. I'm like, where the hell did that come from? Yeah. Okay.
Well, so I was telling my classes this morning.
Like I have a Cambodian accent. I feel like when I speak Khmer.
Yeah. Oh, okay, gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I don't have a. Especially right now, like the more I practice it, yeah, I don't. As far as like my accent, I don't have an accent. I forget what words are. I forget certain words are. You know what I'm saying? Like vocabulary. I think it's like it's all about practice.
Are you good with like the tenses?
Yeah, like as far as like if I talk to somebody in Spanish and I'm feeling confident if I'm feeling confident that day, they're not gonna know. Like when I switch to English, they're like, "Holy shit, how do you speak English like that?" Like all my cousins are like, "Dude, Tanya, like." How do you speak English so good?
Here's something. When someone's speaking to you in Spanish, do you hear it in Spanish or you hear it in English and translate the Spanish?
Like your internal dialogue. That there's like
So if I'm
Like,
saying
I
like
have
if I
ADHD.
say like a ayúdame por favor,
Uh-huh.
are you hearing that in Spanish like
I'm
to know
hearing
what
it
it
in
is?
Spanish, yeah.
But you don't need a translator, right?
No,
You just know what it is.
It's not trained. It's
Okay.
not translated at all. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
no.
Some
I'm not
people
translating it, no.
some people have
Okay, I
it.
get what you're saying. Yeah.
Like
No.
some people, if I say that, they hear it
Like
they
they have
hear-
to, like in order for them to speak the language, they have to translate it in their
in head,
sort of
and then
thing.
and it comes back. Like for me, when I hear Cambodian, it's not like, oh, I know what they're saying in English
You
and
have to be
then say
like,
Cambodian.
da, da, da.
I just know what they're saying. Like it's just it is. Like I
Oh, okay,
know
yeah.
they're saying
Yeah.
like I know they're telling me give me their hand.
Oh,
It doesn't mean
I definitely
to
know
translate it.
what. Yeah, and I have ADHD, so I feel like I can like, I feel like I already know what they're gonna say before they even fucking say it. To be
Yeah.
honest, so like it's more
That's
of
just
that.
knowing people.
And it's also like, and kind of this is what we wanted to talk about earlier too, because we both worked in sales for a good chunk of like our career. Like I would say
Still in
sales
sales.
and still in sales. I still do a lot of sales for everything that I do. But I think that sales also helped me with that. Because there's this point when if you're really looking at sales like it's like you're as a craft, if you're working on that craft, the skill set, then you start to gain these certain things, and there's a part of like once you're like good at it, you've been doing it for a while, there's like sort of like like an assumption or an expectation, like you know what they're gonna say because you're leading the conversation to get to this point of what people are gonna say.
Yeah.
Or their body language says that, or you can tell that you can read facial expressions, whatever.
You can read it off.
Yeah, and I did door to door, so for the first like I've done all kinds of different types of sales, but I'd say door to door sales is probably the hardest fucking types of sales you could do. I sold pest control door to door for 4 summers. And so much of that was like, okay, from the moment somebody opens the door, like you have like 5 seconds for them to read you, get, an impression from you, but also for you to realize who you're talking to, because your tone has to match. Because like if they're pissed and you say the wrong thing because you're trying to be funny or something, you know what I mean? Like whatever, like you have to read before they even say a word. So I feel like, and also I think in general, and I've talked about this on a podcast before, but like, because I moved here and I didn't speak English, I had to kind of like figure out like, hey, how's that person feeling? I also think growing up with and just being really exposed to a lot of addicts in my life, and the types of addictions have been things that are like stimulants that are maybe not so obvious, like a lot of like irrational kind of like
nuances.
No, I'm saying like with growing up around like some of my mom's brothers have been addicted to drugs, and as a kid there could be a flip of a switch in behavior from somebody, even though externally they look, as a kid I'm looking at them, it's like, oh, that's my uncle, that's fine, right? So I think that because of that, kind of like you're saying, you sit back and you observe, because you're probably trying to kind of keep everybody happy, or trying to maybe get in front of maybe any type of conflict that were to arise. Like I know that for me, as like growing up, especially like in a family where we all lived really close together and stuff, it was like, okay, well the happiness or the health of this home is kind of like I can't control it because there's all these other people that influence it. How can I cater to everybody else to make sure that everybody's happy today so that no issues pop up, is something that I feel like was a thing. So anyway, so like I think a lot of those things have kind of just shaped who I am, and I think sales challenges like personal growth more than anything I've ever. Because you're like
more than
like,
sports. And I love sports.
So you consider like how you're talking, what your body language is doing, your confidence. Like there's just so many things that it's taught me, like grit and believing in yourself, and like limiting beliefs and being able to identify all that stuff. What do you feel like makes you, or like what was your first sales job ever? Like how did you get into
like my first sales job ever? Like me just doing sales?
Mine was fucking selling tortillas.
Mine was selling egg rolls, bro. What do you mean? What do you mean? I mean, I'll dive into more of my professional sales life, but as a kid, I think also being brown and maybe growing up ethnic, you just had that hustle mentality.
For sure.
You just had to figure it out. Yeah. So we grew up in Wedgwood. I grew up in Wedgwood, and it wasn't Wedgwood, Houston. It was the fucking hood. Like, anyways, 8 years old, mom went paper to go to camp, and like everyone was going, and I was like, dude, I gotta go. Mom was like, you figure it out, go. Like, you figure it out. And I'm like, all right, whatever. My grandma was making egg rolls just like for us to snack, and I'm like, man, I bet you everyone would buy this shit.
For sure,
it's so fire. Well, she used to live in the fairgrounds, so like I was also at the same time would like at 5 years old be like, hey, park here, $10, park here. You want to buy an egg roll 2 for 1? They're not gonna say no to a 5-year-old kid. Like, let's making my ice cream cash. And so I'm sitting there thinking, went to my uncle, was like, hey, help me make a flyer for egg rolls. And I was doing $10 for 20 egg rolls. So that was how many came in a bag. And I would have my aunt, I was like, can you show me how to make it? And I would do it. Do you think I sent those to my mom's workplace, to my aunt's workplace, to my uncle's friends? I sat there for a weekend and I made $800 at 8 years old. At 8 years old is like gold. I bought 2 pairs of cleats. I paid for camp. I bought new shin guards. And then I did that. I rolled egg rolls once a month.
Now you're rolling egg rolls.
I did. It made me so much
fun. Egg rolls, bitch.
Dude, I got so good. My grandma, like, my aunt would roll. My grandma would be like, that's not good. But she would want me to help her roll because I was fast and I was good. Think about it. I'm rolling like 1,600 egg rolls in a weekend.
Crazy, bro.
I did that once a month till I was a senior in high school.
Yeah, I used to
extra grand.
I used to fucking be like at school, like fucking opening my backpack and just be like fucking every Mexican candy, selling Mexican candy. Or I would do there's these apples that you take like tamarindo, which is like what every Mexican candy is fucking made out of, and they make these wraps that you like make almost like a caramel apple with those. And it's like a process. You have to like fucking mold it around the apple and shit. But when then you cut them up and it's like fucking layered. Oh my god, my mouth is fucking watering thinking about it. But I used to sell those, and
I used to sell drawings for 25 cents, and I would take the drawings. All I would do is take tracing paper and trace over these cards, and then sell them for like 50 cents, $1. Like I got in trouble for that actually at school.
Shit. But yeah, it's crazy because like at school they're like not about that. They're like, fucking
whatever. They teach you useless shit. They need to teach you how to money management. But as a kid, that's kind of where my sales came. Kind of learned that, but then that mentality came with me. It's like, yo, my mom's not gonna figure it out. Like I gotta figure it out. Like I don't want to be poor like the rest of my life. Like try to what that looked like. So I got into my first job out of college. I mean, I served a little bit, made good money doing that as well. But then I was up serving the shit out of these doubles. I was like, yo, you should get a double. He's like, hey, yo, doubles. But first real job, I became a national IT recruiter. So I was like an IT recruiter. I was 22 negotiating people's salaries, like for their job, like their full-time job. We were talking to a 22-year-old on the phone, being like, hey, let me help you with your interview. Say this. This is what they want to say. And then I'm negotiating on the phone like $160,000 salaries. I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
that's crazy.
I wasn't even making that much money at the time. So I feel like, and then everything shifted during COVID with remote. And so a lot of times it's on the phone. Like the first call is on the phone, right? You find, you mess them on LinkedIn, you get your number. Hey, let's have a call, right? And so I feel like everything's about your open contract in terms of like your first flow of how you're going to say the conversation, lead the conversation, tell them exactly what they're expecting. But through that, you have to gain their trust. You need to understand like their why, because you may only have 10 minutes. And then in recruiting and most sales companies, also tech recruiting or tech sales, it's a numbers game. So who's ever faster and gets to the, because a good candidate realistically is only on the market for 12 hours. They're getting hit up by 100 recruiters. So the 5 minutes you're on the phones, you have to gain to win them and for them to work with you. And I was really good at that. But like you were talking about, tonality, and then when you go and you don't really get to see the body language. So you're asking, you have to learn how to.
Different in the type of sales that you do.
Yeah, and you have to learn how to ask open-ended questions that's going to really unrelease the. You may ask the same question 20 different times, 20 different ways. And then what would all help you, right? Always be closing to your close at the end. And that's, I mean, I had the best mentors in terms of coaching with just sales.
That always helps a lot.
Dude, my mentors
I feel the same way. Morgan and Louise, fucking best salesman I've ever
are the best. Kelsey Lachlan was my account manager time. I think you met Kelsey. And then her and I ran and opened up a company. She was my VP. And then my 2 mentors, her sister was a big mentor of mine, who was a gangster at Salesforce. And then obviously Billy, who was my life coach, all of these guys were number 1 in the company.
I just think there's like a point where I think I would see work as work, hard work as I always feel like my work ethic with school is different for whatever reason. I really liked working. But I feel like there was a moment in time where I realized like what sales actually was. Because it was different. Like I worked in retail, my first few jobs, and my first commission job was at True Religion. I like sold jeans there, and so we would make commission. And so there was like for sure an incentive for me to be a little bit catering to people a little bit more. But I feel like I was kind of like a workhorse before. It was like I was just like really good at like taking like doing whatever I was
Direction.
told to do. And so then Louise, she was my friend Louise, started working at True Religion, and at the time I was like the only person who spoke Spanish before him. So a lot of Hispanic people would go in there and buy jeans. And so then once he came in and there was another Spanish speaker and he was actually good at it, at like just being more likable, like it kind of put this like spotlight on me of like, yo, Tanya, you're not really that good. You're just like here to cater to people when they come in. And I don't think that my brain, I didn't really understand that sales was this like huge thing. And then I did door to door.
So
And that was like a whole other like, I think, yeah. I just
so what
didn't
is
realize,
so what is it like? What is sales to you?
To me, sales is everything. So that we would make our reps read this book called Sell or Be Sold by Grant Cardone before they go out for the summer. It was like a mandatory thing.
I don't really like Grant Cardone.
I don't really like him either, but that
I
book,
hate the way he sells.
yeah, but that book is really good. So the book is just about the concept that like sales is like you're either selling or you're being sold in any situation that you're
Getting
in,
gas.
right? Exactly. You're just like getting people to like you or making connections, getting to people to trust you. That doesn't mean that you're trying to like mask not being trustworthy, right? But just like at the end of the day, like we have to interact with people. Even if you're the most trustworthy person in the world, how can you get that person to feel, you know what I mean?
What's value, right? Like to me, sales is everything. Like I agree with you. Sales is to me, what you said, like sales isn't everything we do, whether people want to, reality of it is, it is what it is.
It's just,
however,
it's just like getting you to see from my perspective is how I see it. Like I'm selling you like
well, it's like solving the problem. It's this
solving a problem.
It's the solution,
exactly,
right? It's like, so like for me, like, why are you going to go buy something? What's the problem? Oh, I don't have a MacBook. Okay, so let me give you a laptop.
Out, like what the,
right?
Yeah, exactly. So like figuring out like kind of painting the picture or painting whatever the thing is specific to you is kind of what I feel like sales is like, just kind of like, even if like I'm talking to someone, meeting someone new for the first time, based off of their personality, I can tell like I can tell if I'm intimidating them. I can tell if they're insecure about something. I can tell whatever. So like in the back of my head, I'm like, okay, how do I make them feel more comfortable?
Yeah, you shift.
Way, do this way.
You shift kind of how you act.
Exactly. And so I just feel like that's such a, it's it can be a very, like people can use it for bad, for sure, 100%. Because it's a powerful skill set of getting in tune with that energy and like there's so many things that could go on for days. Like there's a mindset behind it, all this kind of stuff. But the more that you can use it for good, and so like in my like life right now, yes, sales is like the basic like definition of it would be like I'm using sales when I'm signing up a client for coaching and I'm collecting a payment, right? I sold something. But in reality, like on a daily basis, when I'm getting on calls with clients or when I'm in a class and I'm scanning the room and I even have 4 or 5 people, like in my head, it's happening really fast, but I'm thinking like, okay, what does this person do for a living? What do I need to, like, what injury do I know that they have? Like I'm kind of like making everything catered to them so that they're still sold on like they're having a good experience or like understanding what I'm saying.
Yeah, because like, the money is a byproduct. Like,
and so like that to me, that's the selling that I actually do every day is like convincing people to like, hey, they're not going to the gym and they haven't been consistent for a reason. How do I like I can write them a workout program, but if they're not gonna, how do I sell them on going to the gym? How do I sell them on
the lifestyle?
How do I sell them on not smoking their vape every 5 seconds? Like
it's
the it's like things that I'm working on,
Yeah, I know for sure. I think that's the bigger vision, right? It's like, okay, like for example, a realtor, you're not selling them a home, you're not selling them a house.
It's all about asking the right questions.
It's asking the right questions. I think it's more so the vision, it's the longevity. And I don't know if you follow Simon Sinek, something I watched a few podcasts a long time ago. He goes, do business with people that believe what you believe. And what that's mean, like, if it doesn't make sense, like if someone that wants to sell carrots is talking to someone that wants to sell apples, it just doesn't make sense if they're so set, and that's fine. Let's collaborate on like maybe opening up a vegetable truck, but like at the same time, it's like we're in 2 different facets, right? So I think if he doesn't believe in it, they're not gonna work with you. I think the biggest thing about as a salesperson or as an account manager, whatever you want to call yourself, it's knowing your product. And out. Like you can't sell something you don't know it. So like, well, that's your product. It's fitness. It's the lifestyle.
And if you're not sold on
if you're not doing it, and people feel that energy, people see that. And I also would use like my biggest some stuff during my calls, I'll be like, hey, I don't know what this looks like, and dropping it down, and the more like, hey, this is a conversation between me and you, like it's a 50-50 conversation. Let's partner up. I don't work for you, you don't work for me. I'm not trying to take something towards your business value, whatever it is. Let's figure it out together.
This works for you. Yeah.
And it makes more sense. And I've gotten my best deals, and I've usually win every time I make that conversation, because again, I don't want to work with you if when I was a recruiter, these guys would make all this money. They're like, you work for me. I'm like, I live like, no, I don't. I've personally went on the phone, like, I'm not working with you. Bye. Good luck finding the job without me. And like, I can choose to work with you to choose not to. And there's so much power of like turning someone away, and also being the person to be like, hey, this doesn't make the right sense right now, because for what you told me you want in your business case, it doesn't make sense to do this deal. Let's just hold off and let's
it's
do
like
it later.
Communication,
it's involved in everything. I mean, it's
for sure.
And a lot of people, I think, get a misconception that it's manipulation. No, it's not manipulation. It's just understanding the why, having the conversation.
It doesn't matter if you're gonna like physically sell a product. I think sales is the skill set that like it's gonna benefit literally anything. Like literally anything. Like I also think that your perspective of your like it opens up these new levels of like self-worth. Like you realize that your time, you don't have to trade your time for money. There's that aspect of it. But it's also like, I think that it kind of creates this like, because you're working on so many like deep rooted things about yourself. Like if you have limiting beliefs of you're not good enough, of you're annoying, of you're whatever, you're not going to be able to sell. Like those things are going to impact the way you sell. If you have like even the way that you're speaking, if you don't really know how to communicate your best, or if you don't know how to manage your emotions, you're not going to be able to sell. If you don't have the work ethic, like if you just like you're going to have to like kind of go to this foundational like personal growth of yourself in order to be good at sales. And so because of that, it creates this like safety of like, if I lose my job or if anything fucking happens, I'm going to be fine, because I'm just going to figure it out. I'm going to make friends with people. I know how to talk to people. Like, you know, like you even going to a different country, it's like you feel safer because you don't feel like, I'm like, yeah, I trust that my skills of, I'm like, dude, I talk to people at their doorstep when I'm not supposed to be there, like, and they're fucking annoyed of me, and I found some way to cool down the situation. I can leave, I can get their credit card, and they love me, but in 5 minutes later, that's crazy. Like, I want to fucking do that shit, you know?
Going in a different country, that's just me just not being stupid and walking out at night by myself.
Well, yeah.
As far as like, again, though, it's as the people we are, you give off this energy and having the conversation of rights or wrongs, and then you kind of live this life where you, like, if something were to go sideways, I guarantee you, I have friends that are in Colombia or that are closer to me, that are maybe around the States, they will come to my aid. If I need something, right? But again, knowing the right people gone through the same things, having the conversation you and I are even having now about we're selling tortillas and selling egg rolls, different kind of mentality than like hostile culture. And I will say, today's world, that is non-existent. Like no one understands.
It's kind of an abundance mindset, because you're kind of making like for you to be a little kid and be like, I'm gonna sell these egg rolls. You're like making money pop out of fucking nowhere, pretty much.
Dude.
I think for me, like right now, I do a lot of stuff, and I think it might be just subconscious, but I'll try to do DIY stuff as much as I can. Or like if something's broken, I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna figure out how to like repair it or something, just to put myself through the like. Kind of like, again, back to the gratitude thing of like appreciating what's right in front of you. And
did you ever do any like sales training or like processes or like having a sales process?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So I would say Frontline, so the door-to-door company that I work for, like all of their sales came from door to door for years, and so like they're just like all these door to door companies are like, they have to train good reps, otherwise they're not gonna. I mean, it's hard, right? And so and a lot of them are like college kids. A lot of people, it's like people just doing it during the summer and stuff. So the way that they trained us, I think, we had a script, and so that was definitely a part of it. But they trained us on the tone. So like our script would have like every part of it was like in different colors, and so like one color would be like, it'd be like say this first line, it'd be like hey there real quick. I'm gonna say it. Hey there real quick. We're gonna be out here with your neighbors, the Johnsons, tomorrow, servicing their house. We're actually doing a couple more houses down here. You might have seen our trucks. Yeah, this time of year, you guys are starting to see a lot more ants, spiders, fleas, ticks.
Mm.
Have you been seeing more of that on the inside or the outside? And so
Good. Ask the
everything
question.
about like the way that you're saying it, have you been saying on the inside or the outside? Or hey, I was here with the Johnsons, and like on the script it'll be like point to their house.
Yeah.
Or step, like knock the door, step 5 feet away, turn this way.
Yeah.
Wave when you say, like, open your hands.
That's
like,
crazy. I didn't do door stuff. I did cold calling, which is all
so
another
like I
different
think
beast.
the body language aspect of it is something that like even to this day I'm like, oh wow, like that's because it's like you can mirror a customer and their tone on the phone, but when you're like mirroring a customer and they're sitting on their front porch,
you
need to sit down on the front porch with them.
You have them. If they're mirroring you,
and if they're mirroring
you, it's like done.
And it's like also like the way that you stand when you talk to somebody. Like I think I used to make more eye contact before I got into sales than I do now, because it kind of makes like sometimes I think people think like, oh, Tanya's like really bad at making eye contact because I'm like kind of like looking all over the place. I think it's also my spectrum side of me, you know. When I think I have to kind of like look away, but it makes people feel more comfortable when I'm not like directly staring in their eyes or standing in front of them, and it's part of the like we were never supposed to like stand directly facing someone in front of us.
Yeah, like, yo.
You have to stand on their side, right? But like, dude, there's times where like people would like kind of like crack their door open, and I would literally put my foot inside of their door, like
the fuck, bro.
Like stuff like you just
that's wild.
Yeah, or so like just stuff like that. Or if you touch someone, if you touch someone physically at all whatsoever, just the touch is gonna build. I forget what the percentage is, but it's gonna build way more trust just you touching them. And so like I'd be like, hey, listen, like.
It's like body language. Like, it's like flirting. It's like flirting.
Or it's like if they were like, hey, do you have a card or something? I'd be like, oh yeah, and we'd have flyers and we put them on our back pocket. And you'd like pull it out and start right. I'd be like, yeah, so, and I'd keep pitching as I'm writing my name slow as fuck.
Did they ever in their pitch? Did they ever ask for permission?
A permit? Yeah.
Like ask for permission? No, not a permit. Ask for permission.
When?
So we always.
Is that okay?
Yeah, like hey, like run, like I even do it to my friends when I'm on the phone with them. Like, hey, by the way, do you got 5 minutes? I asked for permission on the phone just because sometimes like, yo, I got 5 minutes or I got 10, just to kind of know and gauge where we're at.
Like, hey, I'm gonna be real quick. I don't want to waste a lot of your time. It just really honestly, like we had the script, but like at the end of the day, you're knocking on someone's door, they're opening the door, you're probably gonna be like. If it's someone hot, like if it's someone scary, if it's someone fucking not, you know what I mean? Like it's hard if you're like, especially if you had a bad day.
No, I've had bad phone calls, bro. I'd be like,
hey, bro, like
I walked on a phone call.
The last house just fucking made you feel like you're a piece of shit. Like,
dude, I remember we used to have glassers when we were in office, and I used to run through like fucking 60 calls, just dial. And if I was circled by good calls, and once I got a good one where I knew I was gonna submit the guy, I'd be like. Just like hands up, being like you just know the feeling, but no. So when I used to be a manager as well.
Yeah.
And opening the call, we always called it our upfront contract. So it's like I'm not even gonna do it because I'll start laughing. But during not even a script, it's more so like, hey, you introduce yourself. By the way, want to make sure do we have 20? Like you allotted for 30 minutes. Want to make sure that's a good time because sometimes people are working, right? No, hey, actually, I only have 20 minutes. Perfect. I'll be conscious of that. Second, jump right into it. And then you kind of like, hey, the purpose of this call is to do X, Y, Z. Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
And then they're normally like, oh my God. And they're like, then they feel more relaxed. They don't feel like this is an interview or this, that. And then be more honored.
Yeah, I forget what it's called, but yeah, I think it's like preemptive. Like you're basically like being proactive about what you assume that they're already thinking. Like that's kind of 100%. We'd be like, hey, real quick. Or just using something like that, especially depending on the energy of the person that.
I never answer the question.
What?
Like when someone asks me a question, I'm like, oh yeah, by the way, I always re-ask the question back. I never answer the question because I'm trying to, especially when I'm negotiating like numbers.
No, I'm saying like assuming if like you're saying asking for permission, right? Like depending on when they're opening the door, how much time they seem like they have. Like assuming that how they're feeling almost like kind of like they're trying to get you off their doorstep or they're having this question like kind of like knowing what they're gonna say and acknowledging it before they ask you the question based off of like reading them, right?
Be like, so, hey, like I know it's late right now, it's the afternoon.
Exactly. Yeah. Like kind of calling yourself
5 minutes.
Literally calling yourself out.
Calling it out.
Sorry, I know you seem like you're in a rush. Real quick, we're gonna be out here right?
When you do sales or when someone does that to you, do you ever pick up? I give people pointers. when people try to sell me. There's a new kid.
Like they're
It's
gonna be getting a fucking life lesson.
This freaking recruiter called me.
Yeah.
He literally called me, and I'm asking a question. I'm like, "Is this?" I'm like, "By the way," I'm like, "He's like, yeah." He's like, "I'm like, this your first sales job?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I'm messing." I'm like, "No, you're good." I literally gave him pointers like, "So you should ask this and this way." He goes, I said, "And then I'll say this, and then this is what happens." And like, I'm walking through the call, and he goes, "How do you know all this?" I'm like, "I'm in sales." I'm like, you can't. Like when people are trying to like sell me something, I'm like, you gotta be real fucking good, or I'm already gonna buy it. You didn't do your job. I just bought it. Like I was already gonna buy it.
Yeah. I think so. We're gonna actually end off the podcast right now because we're about to go catch a sunset drive. But what we're gonna leave you guys with, or what I'm gonna leave you guys with, is with sales and with business and with life. I think in general, the more exposure you get, the older you get, and just kind of like spend time in business, and you're gonna get to this point to where right now, if I'm talking to anybody who is like selling me something, like there's a knowing that I know, like I know that every single thing is selling me something. Like I know that, you know what I mean? Like, I know that's always happening, and I know that it's required for like there's an exchange at all times. And so I think for a long time, me in sales, like I was like, fuck, like I am annoying people, or they don't want to buy this or whatever. And it's like, dude, if they don't buy from you, they're gonna buy from somebody, because that's just the way that things flow and things go. And so I think now there's this confidence of like, I know if somebody's trying to sell me something, and even though I know that, like I'm still, you know what I mean? Like they're.
No, I get what you're saying. I think was saying coming from a business perspective and kind of where I'm at now and how the guy were is be yourself. And it's so cliche to say, but like people are gonna buy because they like your personality, they trust you. But like if you're trying to act and follow this like AI script,
that's what I feel like I'm trying to say.
Yeah, this AI script is like, I'm not gonna buy from that. I'll spot. You're not. What would you buy from? I'm not gonna buy from some like, yo, you used to make egg rolls back in the day. I'll buy from you because you just get it, right? You related something about it versus somebody walked to me, hey, I have this so. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna go with you. So again, I think be yourself. There's a lot of books out there. If you want to ask me, I've read. I have so many books about sales.
How to Master the Art of Selling is a good one. Or How to Win Friends and Influence People. I think that's gonna apply to it. So.
Honestly, anything Simon Sinek has done. But also another one, it was it's Vanessa Van Elward. I was telling you about this last night. It's like, I forgot what the book's called. I think it's a tract or something. I read it when I was in college, and it showed me like how to read the room and like where to go, best spots of networking.
Most valuable, I think, like if I were to like give one thing about both of us that we have in common, that's like the most valuable fucking thing that we have to offer, is how well we are with people in general.
100%.
And so I feel like and no matter what's going on in my life, like that, having that as a foundation is so fucking helpful and powerful. And like, just definitely, if you're wanting to work in sales or whatever, just like learn more about relationships, learn more about people. But yeah, we're gonna 100%. Leave you guys with that. We're gonna head on out. Peace.
I'm about to get some food. I'm starving actually.